Nancy.
So is the tough U.S. response to Toyota really aimed at helping bailed out U.S. car makers and auto workers?
Let's ask our Bulls and Bears, Gary Kalbaum, Todd Schoenberger, and Nancy Skinner. Nancy, to you first out in Michigan. What do you think?
Well, no. If it is some great conspiracy, then the Japanese government would have to be in on it, because they've told Toyota, look at the Prius. The Bush administration would have to been on it, because the first inspection started, the investigations, in 2002, 2005, when this problem started. There was a recall, limited recall for floor mats in 2007 in Europe. And it was really, what it was a stunning crash last August. There was a highway patrolman from California who went off a cliff, and he called in 911. They had tape, said his accelerator is stuck, his whole family died, and they were forced to confront the facts. That's when the Obama administration's agency stepped up, and Toyota had actually put out a statement saying that they had taken care of the problem and that NISTA had backed them up, which was not true. And they had to put out a statement saying that's not true. So Toyota, New York Times today, goes through all these facts that I'm saying and lays out the case line in the history. And so the idea that they would do that just for the U.S. automakers is ridiculous.
Well, and Gary Kay, in fact, we do have someone coming up a little later in this hour whose wife was a victim of one of those crashes. So there is strong evidence. Also, the L.A. Times been doing an incredible series on the difficulties. The problem is they say that Toyota may not be going to the right fix. They may be focusing on the pedals when in fact it's something electrical that doesn't have to do necessarily directly with a pedal.
Well, look, let's hope Toyota gets it right. The transportation department, if not the number one goal, is safety. The goal here is to make sure nothing bad does happen. I know there have been some crashes. They don't want a massive amount of crashes. So I think they came out, the transportation department, and doing the right thing. I don't know about 2 congressional meetings or more than that. But look, that's their job, to protect the consumer, the American consumer. And I don't think it has anything to do with Japanese or American or any other. I think they're doing the right thing.
Liz McDonald, absolutely. At this point, the better to get out in front of it before anybody dies. The Ford Firestone situation was very tough many years ago, and clearly in this situation they want to get out ahead of it.
Absolutely. Families need to be protected, but I don't think the U.S. government is trying to put Toyota out of business. If they do that, they could put U.S. workers out of jobs, because Toyota has, plants and research facilities in about 10 states in this country, including Kentucky, Alabama, and Texas. So that'd be a really aggressive move by the government. I just don't see it.
Todd Schoenberger, the concerns are real, are genuine. They have been backed up by industry safety specialists. There's no question about it. However, the States is put in a difficult role now, because the regulators of the car companies are also part owners of the car companies. That is a conflict of interest, is it not?
Absolutely, David. It's definitely a conflict of interest, and it's a very enviable competitive position that this government is in right now. The fact that they can go out, Obama can send the Department of Transportation Secretary to have a press conference and say, out of your Toyota right now and don't drive it. I mean, just driving here to the studio today, I saw 5 Toyotas on the side of the road. Everybody's taken off on these cars. They don't want to drive them anymore because of the safety concerns, yet they're the owner of a GM company right now.
I just think it's a hyperactive government. I don't think it's a conspiracy thing. I think it's a hyperactive government response. That's it.
It is. But the U.S. government, for the Obama administration to get involved like this, they have now cornered themselves. Now now they're going to come out and have congressional hearings.
They were anyway. Go ahead, Nancy.
The difference when in previous administrations, where the Bush administration headed up their agencies, where the heads of the regulatory agencies were from the auto companies and sheltered them. In fact, those investigations I talked about from 2000 to 2005, they found no problems. They put the accelerator in one category and the brakes in another.
Okay, gang, hold on one second. We've got breaking news that we want to get to, and Robert Gray has it. Robert.
Yeah, Liz, thanks so much. Big earnings here coming after the close.